Joining me live for more on this, Housing Industry Association Chief Economist Tim Reardon. Thank you for your time. What have you made of this? It's a big and complex area. Are there ways to sort of, I suppose, tip the scales back towards first home buyers without affecting rental availability?
Well, absolutely, there are ways of making housing more affordable for first home buyers, and the key way of doing that is to reduce the taxes on housing. It does feel a lot like Groundhog Day. We have been here many times before over the course of the past 20 years, and one thing is for certain, homes are not made more affordable by taxing them more. Every time government raises an additional dollar from taxing homes, that's one additional dollar that's not spent on housing. The concept that negative gearing capital gains tax is either the cause of the problem or the solution to this problem is just a distraction. Governments raise around about 50% of the cost of a new house and land package in Western Sydney as taxes, fees and charges. If governments want to reduce the cost of housing and increase the supply of rental accommodation, they can address it through those measures. I'll stop there, Tom.
All right, no, you get a say, yeah, that's all right, but it's always a good time to throw in a second question. One of the graphs you often see is from the year 2000 when the capital gains tax discount changed and increased effectively, particularly in the short term, and that appears to be when the gap between wages and the cost of a house really becomes distorted. Doesn't that suggest that there could be a relation here? Because you say you don't change it or make it cheaper by increasing taxes, but it's not taxes on any house. It's just a cost once an investor has it versus... So a first home buyer isn't affected by this at all. That helps them compete at an auction, doesn't it?
No. Correlation versus causation, Tom. Certainly we have seen an enormous increase in capital gains tax raised from taxing on houses post that change in 1999. But even if we switch from the regime we have now back to the regime we had in 1999, you're not going to see a significant change to revenue raised by government or the impact or the capital gains tax applied to any individual home. The 50% discount rate versus taxing the real rate, and it is really important to stress there is a lot of misinformation about this. There is certainly a number of news commentators suggesting that the Costello-Howard regime resulted in a 50% reduction in capital gains tax, and that is an egregious misrepresentation of what happened. Switching from 100% tax on the real capital gain to a 50% tax on the nominal capital gain is not a substantial change to the amount of revenue the government raised. We saw revenue immediately after that tax change decline, and that declined because we had a share market correction. And every year since then, we have seen a significant increase in revenue over that period of time. And of course, housing is only one small component of capital gains tax. And I can see too that one of the other suggestions is moving to negative gearing and applying it only to one household. Being able to access negative gearing, and quite why the economic, social reasons for doing that. 1 or 10 individuals with 10 homes making those homes available for rent is no different from one individual having 10 homes. There is no increase in supply. There is no additional revenue for government. The social and economic equity factors remain the same. This logic that somehow we can withdraw investors from the housing market and that's going to free up first home buyers is illogical. They are not competing in the same markets. What we have is an important role for investors to increase the supply of homes, and that means first home buyers also have that same access to the market. Now, the more we remove investors from the market, the more we reduce the supply of homes, and we have seen that post 2015-16. APRA and ASIC intervened. They forced investors out of the market, now building half the number of apartments we were a decade ago.
All right, look, we'll see if something lands on the table, because we're just sort of talking theory at the moment, Tim. So we might chat down the line if we have something proper to debate. Tim Reardon, thank you.